Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
Not a game. We talking about practice.
We thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Inside a different league, I'm coming. I'm flat out coming.
It's my quarterback. And if you guys do that, man, it's unfair.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to another edition of the Sports Report Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. William D. Morgan. And before we get started, hold on one second. Let your boy fix this real quick. Here we go. And before we get started, I do want to remind you guys of what we're doing over here at Wire to Wire Sports. Right now, we are doing this. Yes, please join us here on Wire to Wire Sports from our March Madness Bracket Mania contest. There we go. I got it right eventually. $20 per entry, up to $1,000 prize for the first place winner. So if you guys can join us, you can hit me up on Facebook. I'll give you all the details. Get you signed up. It is powered by ESPN. So keep that in mind as well. I'll give you all the details. It's $20 per entry. And you can win up to $1,000 for first place. So definitely join us for our March Madness Bracket Mania Challenge. Only right here on Wire to Wire Sports. I'll give a reminder before we end the show. All right, let's go ahead and close that out. And let's go ahead and move over to my co-host. He has forgot more baseball than I will ever know. Let me move my man over to Seven. Seven, what's going on?
Man, I am so glad to have my big boy podcasting gear back. It feels great to actually have a microphone and not be talking into my cell phone.
There you go. There you go. Good to have you back. Good to have you back. All right, let me go ahead and move over to my man, Ando. Ando, what's up?
Is this thing turned on? Am I here? Can you guys hear me?
Ando, I don't know if I told you. I got messaged by somebody that you actually won a trip to go fuck yourself.
Are you coming with me so I can go fuck myself with you?
Yeah, that's a pretty solo activity, bro.
Oh, is it solo activity? Damn it.
Yeah.
And people wonder why I'm still single because I fuck around and find out by myself. What's up, boys? How we doing tonight?
Oh man, we're doing good.
Will, I don't want to tell you, but I'm keeping an eye on that Bulls Jazz game. We are currently down by 3, getting ready to go into halftime.
Yeah, I'm keeping up.
How do we lose to the Jazz, man?
I'm keeping up with that myself.
They were just feeling jazzy.
Oh, shut up.
Shut up. Man, right now we down 50-46. Come on, man.
Yep.
Come on,
Not
man.
showing 50-49, so we hit a 3-point shot. So
come on, man.
Yep.
Come on, man. All right. All right. So right now we got a lot to discuss, boys. A lot to discuss. As I stated earlier, I'm gonna say it throughout the night. Don't forget March Madness Bracket Mania Challenge. You can join us, Wire to Wire Sports Network. $20 per entry, up to $1,000 for the first place winner. You can hit me up, William Morgan, on Facebook for more details. Definitely do that, because your bracket could be the one. You could have that upset winner. See, there's a lot of. Go back and look throughout the years. how many brackets have been determined by just that one upset? And if you get everything right, but then you manage to get that upset pick, that could be $1,000 for you right there.
I mean,
definitely.
I'm going UNC all the way because I mean, if they can get an AD on the selection committee, I'm pretty sure they can make it all the way despite the record. They're looking past the results. Will.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, everybody that isn't New Orleans has already looked past the results.
Oh hell yeah. Just to bring back Cam Jordan and after
Tyrann Mathieu came back.
He'd been back. I'm not mad at Tyrann Mathieu because he still got something left in the tank.
You got Justin Reed.
Yeah,
I'm happy with Justin Reed, but
and you don't have Daniel Sorensen.
That's true. I guess it's evidence.
That makes your defense better by subtraction.
Oh yeah, and I guess the naked pictures that he had on somebody ain't working no more. Because as far as I know, he's not on the team right now. So
and they were naked pictures of Mickey Loomis. That's what it was. Not nobody cares if they get out because
we don't care about that.
I don't want to see Mickey Loomis.
No, we don't care about that.
Oh man, reject.
But I'm looking over these matchups very quickly, guys, and I'm a bit out of my element when it comes to the NCAAs. But I'm just by looking over. Oh wow, yeah. These are some good early round matchups.
I like every single 8-9 matchup in this year's brackets. You got Louisville and Creighton is an underrated Big East team.
Mm-hmm.
You got Mississippi State and Baylor. You got Gonzaga and Georgia. And then you got UConn against Oklahoma. So I mean, I look at like the 3-14. I look at the 7-10. Those are typically the matchups that I look at for upsets because you really can't classify an 8-9 as an upset. But no. I don't think. I mean, the money line is, I think, Gonzaga. I think Oklahoma is predicted to beat UConn. Louisville is expected to beat Creighton, and Mississippi State is expected to beat Baylor. I mean, all of those games should actually be coin tosses. I don't think anybody should be favored in any of those.
I can tell you where one upset is going to be, and I'm just looking at the bracket because I mean this is the first time live that I'm actually looking at the bracket this year. Mm-hmm. And there is one upset in the West, and that is Grand Canyon University will beat Maryland. Because Grand Canyon University is a private Christian university, so they have God behind them. And you just have to spend 5 seconds in Baltimore to know that
Jesus
God
Christ,
doesn't care about Maryland.
I'm liking that. I'm going with that myself on my bracket. I like that. I like that. I like that.
5-12 matchup. Yeah, that could happen.
I like that one.
Purdue. I can see North Carolina beating San Diego State. I actually see Xavier beating Texas to get in on that other 11 spot. And then I could see 11 Xavier beating Illinois, but I don't think they beat Kentucky. If Kentucky can beat Troy, for whatever reason, Kentucky in the first round has been hit or miss for like the last 4 or 5 years. So
I can see Georgia beating Gonzaga.
Don't say that. I'm from Washington State, and that's
the only Washington team. I'm sorry, dude, but I can see it. They'll lose to Houston that next round, but I can see it.
It doesn't matter who wins that 8-9 because Houston's going to beat them. Yeah, I would really love to see Norfolk State beat Florida. I think Norfolk State, being born from Virginia, I think that would be an amazing upset.
They were bringing this gentleman. They were bringing this gentleman here from the original player versus team. John, what's up, man?
What's up, guys? Y'all good?
Doing good, man. Appreciate you coming through.
The only number one I don't feel solid about is Auburn. That's the only
I'm there with you. I'm there with you.
I mean, I like Florida. I like Houston. And I like Duke. Duke ran through, and I always say that Duke is puke, so I don't root for Duke.
They absolutely are puke. I don't even call them.
I can't see them. They're not going to lose to one of the 16. So Alabama State, St. Francis, PA, American, or Mount St. Mary's. None of them are going to beat Duke.
Let's say they all beat Duke. We're good.
Okay, cool. But I'm not
They'll
putting that on
lose
my
to the
bracket.
first team they play. I don't care.
I ain't putting that on my bracket. If I'm putting
I
20
am
bucks in, I ain't putting
upset
that on my
city.
Yeah. I don't know. The other matchup that I think I like is BYU and VCU. And the East matchup, the 6 versus 11, because those two, I just like their initials, man. And one's from Utah, the other's from Virginia. So they're like counter opposites because it's like vagina. A lot of people say Virginia is vagina. And BYU, you know, they're getting down and busy in Utah. So
yeah, but it's only missionary, so it's really not that impactful, man.
missionary is better than nothing.
Yeah, all right.
Damn.
I would take missionary at this point.
That's fair.
Not saying, just saying.
It's you know, I'll give you maybe they get a little soaking going on in there up at BYU. That's probably a pretty popular activity.
Surfing on the water beds, yeah, man.
It's a Mormon threesome if you get somebody jumping on the bed.
Exactly.
Remember, folks.
Wow.
Remember,
Mormon
folks.
threesome is crazy.
Remember, folks. I have the parental advisory.
I'm the reason that that's
Remember. Just
Oh
remember.
hell no.
Just remember.
me, sir.
Just remember.
That's me.
Just remember.
I bet you Mormons do have threesomes. I bet you they do.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's all they do.
Yeah, I mean,
What else is
That's
there
all
to
they
do in
do?
Utah?
How do you know, Ando?
What else is there to do in Utah? I drove through Utah and fell asleep through the entire trip, man.
Here's the thing: if you're a Mormon husband who has 10 wives, statistically 2 of them are at least bisexual.
Haha.
So there's statistically, I think that's what they're shooting for. Like, I mean, really, you're just trying to figure out which ones are going to go that far.
Utah wants to be above average.
I'm not afraid of them.
You talking about shooting shots?
You ain't lying for real. For real. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Man.
I agree, John. I think Iowa State and Michigan State would be a really good matchup. However, Marquette, I think they beat New Mexico. I bet they beat New Mexico in the first round. And Marquette could give Michigan State a run for their money. For whatever reason, when Marquette is a number 7, 8, or 9, they always seem to play beyond where they're supposed to.
You're not wrong about that.
No, I'm not.
You ain't.
Like the teams from the Big East always, like, they have a different type of chip on their shoulder. The UConns, the Marquettes, the Creightons, they always just seem to come out of nowhere.
For sure.
Anybody got Oklahoma again? Anybody got Oklahoma beating UConn?
Oklahoma's a basketball team?
Yep. Hey, Erica's not here, so I can say it in case she's not watching. OU is not beating UConn. I don't think UConn beats Florida.
So, yeah.
Then again, they won't have to play Florida if Norfolk State does the upset of the century and beats Florida.
Right,
that would be a huge upset.
Norfolk State. Yeah.
You imagine somebody pitch that. You imagine somebody pitch that.
I would love it.
Hey, it's Norfolk. Pretending the R is silent, like at the end of the N word.
Technically, because of the parental advisory, I always call it no fuck vagina. And I can say that because I was born there, so eat it.
But this, but this,
no
right?
vagina.
Even when I go and look at the first 4 is interesting.
Yeah.
Alabama State versus St. Francis.
Yep.
Texas versus Xavier. You mentioned that before.
Yep.
American versus Mount St. Mary's.
Yep.
San Diego State versus North Carolina. You know what?
I'm going to go for San Diego State in that game.
I'm going to call it San Diego State.
Let's not do that, Seb.
San Diego State.
Let's not do that.
Now, here's the deal.
I'm in the state of North Carolina.
Here's the deal.
How did they get in, though? How did they get in, though? Because weren't they like one of the first 4 out? And like West Virginia thought that they were a lock to be in, and then all of a sudden, hey, North Carolina's one of the last 4 in.
I think we might have got like 20 wins. So
it's not hard to figure out why the University of North Carolina is in the March Madness tournament when you look at who is on the selection committee for the NCAA for this tournament. This includes the athletic director of the University of North Carolina.
Yep.
You really think that played 0 part in North Carolina getting on?
I honestly thought we'd have got a lower seed, but hey,
North Carolina is going to be the.
Hey Joshua, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Again, John, welcome to the stream.
Honestly, I have not watched North Carolina play like a basketball. I'm just talking.
I haven't either. I've been watching.
I watched them
play more than the guys.
Welcome to the stream. Speaking of the women, I know Dawn Staley was hot when her team didn't get a top seed. But my thing is this: when you don't get a top seed, that means your run is a little bit easier. You don't get a top seed.
Not yes and no. Because specifically to a Dawn Staley team, there's a standard there. Yeah. So I mean, it's just like Coach K. It doesn't matter where you get seated. The standard is you're going to win the tournament. That's just what the expectation is.
That's the standard for South Carolina.
And I don't know. South Carolina did get a top seed. South Carolina got a 1. They'll play Tennessee Tech March 21st at 3 p.m.
I just don't see why would you be so passionate about that. She has a good program. She just has some bad losses.
Where I will get
they couldn't stop UCLA because they ain't got no size. South Carolina ain't got no size.
They short. They're small.
That girl for you, Lauren Bett, she is huge. And I ain't talking about wide. She's tall and thick. Like, she's got to be every bit of 6'10", 6'11".
Here's my philosophy on it. She, as a really good head coach, wants to be the best of the best. So if you're the number 1 seed, well, okay, I guess as number 1, you don't take on the best until you get to the end. Right. But as 2 or as a 3, you're going to take on, as a 2, you take on the 15, which might as well be a 16 in women's basketball. Yeah. The 3 will play the 14. But then, after that, you'll play 2 versus 3, or you'll play as the 2, you play the 7 or the 10, and that has some natures for upsets. But then again, you'll play the 8 versus 9. So South Carolina, they're going to beat Tennessee Tech. They'll play either Utah or Indiana. I haven't seen either one of those 2 play this year.
They're not going to lose
they'll play. Nah, they're not going to lose a game. They'll be
no. Yeah, they should be fine. Hey, Maryland plays Norfolk State in the women's bracket. Go Norfolk State.
You're doing
the one I'm really looking at. The one I'm really looking at. I'm thinking about calling this one now, since this is being recorded. Montana versus Wisconsin.
In the women's bracket?
Men's.
Damn it. Now you got to have me go back over to the men's. Which bracket? Oh. That's
I
don't see Minnesota beating Wisconsin.
It's Montana.
Montana beating Wisconsin. Minnesota. But
I don't see Montana beating Wisconsin.
I see it. Something just screams out. Maybe I'm just.
I would say Wisconsin beats Montana, but they don't beat BYU or VCU.
Yeah. Now we just had a question. Why is you?
Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm not sleeping on the NC State women at all. No. Hell no.
I'm interested to see how USC plays in the women's bracket.
Why are people hyping up VCU?
USC girls are going to win some games.
Yeah, they are.
They just didn't happen to beat UCLA this 3rd time. So
yeah.
UCLA had to be dialed in to beat them. So
Juju was no joke.
USC was running UCLA off the floor.
Yep.
Because they did what they were supposed to do. Keep that big girl behind them instead of playing a half-court offense.
Yeah, I saw those. I saw 2 of those games. 2 out of the 3.
I saw the 3rd one, but they just couldn't. They couldn't do nothing with the big girl.
VCU and why is
Lauren
VCU?
Betts, I'm sorry to call her the big girl. She's
why is
VCU
VCU
the largest woman I've ever seen?
Why is VCU being hyped up? They're 11 seed.
VCU has history in the tournament.
They won their division or their conference, I guess would be the appropriate term.
Everybody loves a Cinderella.
I think
facts. That's true.
And that's sometimes where that upset comes from. And so when you go back and now you look at VCU, you say, they're the 11th playing against BYU. I would not be surprised to see something like that happen, where that's where our upset is, because it's, BYU is one of those teams that likes to get to the dance, but they stand off to the side and watch everybody for most of it.
Yeah. Except, dude, there was a year that they made it to the Elite Eight.
One more I did want to talk about real quick before we moving over to the NFL. We got some news over there. Troy versus Kentucky.
I think Kentucky takes it.
Yeah, it should be Kentucky.
Yeah.
I think Kentucky. I would not be surprised. Like I said, Kentucky always seems to play really bad in the first or second round. Troy could. If I put anything in the Midwest bracket as an upset, that is probably where I'm going.
That would be the one I would look at. Yeah, that would
Maybe
be the one I would look at.
I have a
Utah
question.
over UCLA or Utah State over UCLA, but I would go Kentucky to get upset before Troy. Or I would say Troy to get upset. I would say Troy to upset Kentucky before Utah State upsetting UCLA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did Bama just transition from being a football to a basketball school when Nick Saban left?
No, the SEC basketball has played really well this year. They had, I think, 13 teams make it to the dance, 12 or 13 teams this year.
But Bama got ranked at number 2. That's not easy.
Bama was ranked 1, I think, for 2 or 3 weeks this year. There were several teams in the SEC that were ranked number 1 in the
Say Auburn got some serious high flyers on that team.
Yeah. Vandy could upset.
Auburn is that one team in the bracket that I do not trust as a 1. I trust Duke, I trust Houston, and I trust Florida. For whatever reason, I do not trust Auburn.
Vandy could upset St. Mary's.
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas. I think it's going to depend on how much we get out of Zeke Mayo.
I don't think that's the same Kansas team we've seen in the past either.
It's not. They're really. I mean, what's crazy is what we're seeing out of KU right now is essentially a rebuilding year, but a rebuilding year for KU is still a shot at the Sweet 16 at least. I would say. I would say realistically that's about their ceiling this year.
It could be, except Kansas would draw St. John's in the round of 32 if they beat Arkansas and St. John's beat Omaha. And that Rick Pitino team in St. John's is nothing to joke.
They ain't nothing to sneeze at.
No, and that's why I say the 16 is their ceiling, because it's only going to get worse. Yep. It's for KU, especially where they're ranked. I could
see Kansas beating Texas Tech or Missouri, because your 3-14 matchup in that conference is Texas Tech and UNC Wellington. Texas Tech will win that. Missouri and Drake. Drake is a really good Iowa subdivision team. Yeah. I don't see them upsetting Missouri, but it could happen. And then Texas Tech would beat Drake or Missouri. So if you can beat St. John in that round of 32, I think you can take Texas Tech in the round of 16. And then you go up against one of the topper seeds, Florida. I would say Norfolk State. Then they get beat by UConn. Memphis beats Colorado State. I'll go with Tony and say Grand Canyon. It's very possible you could get Kansas and Grand Canyon State or Grand Canyon University. I'd be all right with that as a Sweet 16 matchup.
I mean, and that's if the hell freezes over, and that's what we get. You're going to see the craziest round of support for that game, because you're going to see people going, I want KU to lose, and then they find out they have to support a Christian school, and they're going, fuck. It's going to be great to watch. I can't wait.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, but I'm really liking Clemson McNeese. I'm really liking that.
That's a good matchup.
That's what I'm going with. That's going to be the upset I go with. All right.
Root for ACC teams that are nearby, but except for Puke. So
if Duke gets beat,
Clemson can win.
Yeah, if Duke gets beat by Alabama State, St. Francis,
go Alabama State. Woohoo!
I'd be all right with that.
Come on, Alabama.
It's not very
Alabama State.
It's not very often.
Alabama State. Alabama State.
We got that gumbo if you win.
Eat gumbo and spit tobacco.
There you go. There you
Just
go.
Don't do it the other way around.
And don't forget, you guys, Wide Sports March Madness Bracket Mania Challenge, $20 per entry. You can hit me up on Facebook. I'll give you all the details. Up to $1,000 for your first place winnings. So definitely get in touch with me. Let's get you signed up. So you have
whatever do not vote with 7. Do not let 7 tell you how to build your bracket.
Definitely.
I ain't building no bracket this year. I ain't watched too much college men's basketball. Now, I may build a bracket.
Sign up. Put yourself in the running to win that $1,000. $1,000 is nothing to sneeze at, y'all.
No,
I would love $1,000.
I would enjoy sneezing at $1,000, like it's right there, like that.
I'm going to use that $1,000 as a blanket.
Definitely get that out there.
You could spend like 60 of it and have an actual blanket that would keep you warm, and then do a lot of other shit with the other $940. Right. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yes,
that'd be a nice blanket for $60.
Buy a new Bulls hat.
Hey, I just
Damn.
it doesn't need to be replaced yet.
Damn.
No, it doesn't. It looks pretty fresh in them. So,
Damn.
just saying. You can get a black one.
Yeah, I could go
No
with the
pun
black.
intended.
I got two. I got two. I got two wheat color. I got two.
No, this
got
is the only
two.
gold that I had. I have a whole wall of Kansas City hats, but yeah, I needed to. My next one is I need to refresh on my Mariners, and we did get a couple Ducks hats in the sports store that I work at. So, my game plan is to start freshening up on my hat collection.
That's a good way. Good way.
All right. Let's go ahead and move over to the NFL. This is gonna be a short show, guys. We move over to the NFL. Big news out of Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think that you could actually renegotiate with T. Higgins, but I was told wrong yesterday. T. Higgins was given the franchise tag earlier, about maybe a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago. But it looks like Jamar Chase has signed 4-year, $161 million deal with $112 million of it guaranteed. Higgins signed a 4-year, $115 million deal to stay on with the Cincinnati Bengals. Look, here's my thing, and I'll let you guys chime in. Got no problem with keeping your people, but at some point, Joe Burrow gonna need a line.
And you're going to need a defense.
And they're trying to sign back Trey Hendrickson, from what I understand. But at some point, you need an offensive line.
The Vikings giving up a lot of offensive linemen here lately. So, just saying,
they need to get some of them.
I want to hear Kevin's take on this.
I think that because of the increase in salary cap, I think that they're going to have to choose. You can protect Joe Burrow and have a glass cannon team. All offense, no defense.
No defense.
The pencil dick in the
you got
NFL.
pick or
All
choose.
length, no girth.
Like a 2019-2020 version of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep. Or those old Dolphins teams that had nothing but offense with Dan Marino, but no defense.
100%. And that's what you have to do. Because if you don't keep Macaulay Culkin safe, he ain't at home, so he doesn't have time to set traps. Okay? And that's the thing. I respect the hell out of Joe Burrow as a quarterback. I say that as a Chiefs fan. But if you don't protect that motherfucker, you're not. I mean, you're wasting the money.
Be hurt again.
You're spending money on Jamar Chase and T. Higgins to make sure that Joe has 2 targets to throw to. If you don't give him the needed pieces to give him time to throw to them, then you wasted your money. So
who's
you
their running back?
get a defense.
Chase Brown.
Yeah, Chase Brown.
He's all right.
You can't get a defense. You have to, what are you going to do? Re-sign Orlando Brown Jr.?
Yeah, the turnstile that is.
What you call him? What you call him? A turnstile 7? That's what you call him? A turnstile? Yeah.
Go ahead and put Jawan Taylor on the other side.
Yep.
Wow.
I know I'm going to forget it. I know I'm going to forget it. Me and someone was talking. And he said,
not wrong.
Turnstile. I said, dang, man.
He is a human turnstile.
I mean, it just
the difference between Jawan Taylor and Orlando Brown is Orlando Brown does this. Here, go ahead. Here's my quarterback. Jawan Taylor goes, hold on. Okay, here's my quarterback. That's it.
Oh my goodness.
They both suck.
See,
they both terrible.
The problem
They both
terrible. They're terrible.
The problem that I have.
They look beyond the results.
Hell yeah, they do.
Defensively, they look past the results.
They don't look past anything because they can't stop a pass, a goddamn run.
That's a good question. If Rick Pitino somehow pulls it off and wins it all, does he fall into one of the GOATs?
I think he already is.
He definitely does.
I think he already is. I mean,
Jim Calhoun, John Calipari,
Coach K.
Coach K, Dean Smith, Roy Williams.
Dean Smith, absolutely.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna put Gino in there?
Oh, absolutely.
He's women's basketball coach.
But you still gotta put Gino in there.
He's in a conversation with Pat Summitt. Those two, those two, man.
If you're looking overall, though, if you're not just including gender, because
Dawn Staley is definitely on her way.
Oh yeah, she's on her way for sure.
Okay, if we're going to combine the two sports, then you can do that. But
because when it comes to coaches, I don't look at gender per se.
Okay, and that's fair.
You know,
then if you want to do that way, I would. I honestly think Gino is better than Jim Calhoun. He is a far better coach and has been there way longer than Jim was.
Right.
I always put Pat Summitt in my top 5 of women's coaches.
Yeah.
And it's just because of the respect that she got from her players. Never asked for it, never demanded it, but she got the respect.
She was a winner. She was a straight up winner.
Straight winner.
And then for men, you can't talk about college basketball without Coach K. As much as we hate Duke, Duke became what they were because of Coach K. And then
you mispronounced their name, Ando.
What's that?
You mispronounced their name.
Okay, what's their name? Puke.
Puke.
Look, you got to put respect on their name, man. As soon as they're out of the tournament, I'll start talking shit again.
Nope.
But no, if we want to talk,
I don't give them shit.
If we want to talk top 5 coaches, I think it's really hard for you to leave Rick Pitino out. If we're going genderless coaches, my top 5 at the moment would be Gino, Pat Summitt, Coach K.
Mm-hmm. No, I gotta go Dean Smith. I'm biased.
Dean Smith.
He's in there. He's in there for sure. For sure.
I think he's in there anyway. So I
for sure. He's in there for sure.
I don't have that bias to have that one.
Yeah, Rick Pitino.
And Bob Knight. I'm just kidding.
Bob Knight's a good one. Look, any coach can get away with
I ain't never
He
cared.
was on my mind though. Bob Knight was on my mind though.
I ain't never cared. I ain't trying to disrespect what the man did. I just never liked him.
Oh, he just cracked me up, man. He just didn't care. He just didn't give.
He didn't care. He didn't care what he said. He didn't care who he offended. He just didn't care.
Exactly.
0 fucks given.
Zero.
No clue at all.
You look in the dictionary to 0 fucks. Bob Knight is right next to it with the goddamn chair.
It's right there.
I don't know if you guys do this or not, but did you guys
was
know
this close
Bob
to the WWE?
Bob Knight in Indiana almost signed Larry Bird.
Mm-hmm.
But Larry Bird got homesick, so he went to Indiana State instead. Could you imagine Larry Bird on those Bob Knight Indiana teams?
I mean, didn't Bird win the college championship? No.
No,
I thought he did.
lost to UCLA because they played Magic Johnson.
I know he lost to Magic in Michigan State. I know Magic won that one, but I wasn't sure if he won any other title.
Got one.
Ooh, Boeheim is another one out of Syracuse. Ooh, that's a good one.
Is it Boeheim?
Boeheim.
You talking about Jimmy? You talking about
Boeheim?
Yeah, out of Syracuse.
Yeah,
that's a top one too, man. That's a top one too.
He only won one though.
And that's my thing with him.
He only won one, and then the team he won, and then the team. And then the team he should have had won, he didn't.
No.
That man had Derek Coleman and Ronnie Cycli on the same freaking team. And you couldn't.
My boy Ronnie Cycli, who used to play for the Heat.
Listen, I love Ronnie Cycli back. I love DC and Ronnie Cycli back in the day. That was the team.
I don't know what happened to Derek Coleman when he got to the pros. He wasn't the same. He had the attitude, but he wasn't the baller he was in college.
Derek Coleman had first overall pick in 1990. Played like 4 or 5 seasons with the Nets and then bounced around. He won a ring with a team. I don't remember what team he won it with. But no, I mean, you stay in the league 14 years as a number 1 overall draft pick. I think you did your job.
Yeah,
it's longer than
he's one of those guys you expected more from.
You
wanted to see more from him in the pro.
Yeah.
Hold on.
That's all I'm saying.
To be fair, though, that 93 Nets team was a very good team until Drazen passed away. When Drazen died in that car wreck.
Oh, man.
But we're going to keep Boeheim out of the top 5.
I would, personally.
Yeah.
I would say he's still in top 10, but I can't do top 5.
Because that's the thing that made me mad because the team, like I say, that Syracuse, that Derek Coleman led team, him and Billy Owens and Roddy Sherman Douglas. What? And then all the rivalries he had with Georgetown.
I was about to say, dang, the Georgetown coach is escaping my mind.
Yeah.
John Thompson? No?
John Thompson from UCLA.
What's up, Mo?
Mo's got this. I agree with Mo on this, and this is why I can't
he had stat squads. He only got one title out of it.
And to me, he's still in the top 10 simply because of how great of a coach he was. Because there's a lot. I mean, it's not to be disrespectful to the feat that it is, but there are a lot of coaches that have just won one title. And so it's his ability as a coach and his presence as a coach that's keeping him in the top 10. Not, I think it's you got to look past the results, kind of.
I think the thing that got it too, when recruiting changed, because not only did recruiting change for football, it also changed for basketball. And once the recruits stopped coming in to give him those stacked teams, then you started to see a huge drop off in Syracuse basketball. But yeah, Mo is correct. He had a bunch of stacked teams.
I would say there's like 3 or 4 criteria for me that make a really good coach. You got to stay relevant, and Boeheim stayed relevant with Syracuse. You got to be able to stay consistent in the tournament, and he made the tournament.
He did.
Recruiting is a big part of it. You got to be able to have the right people play on your team, and obviously because he went to the tournament so many years, he had the right team. But then obviously the winning portion of it, it's just like with Pittsburgh that we talk in the NFL. That's great. You set the standard. You get a winning record every single season, but you're not advancing in the playoffs. So another piece of credit gotta give Boeheim.
He won in the Big East when the Big East was something to win.
Yeah. I still say the Big East is something to win, man.
It's not as dominant as it was back in the day, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, not every conference can be the Big Ten. Have 20
but it wasn't. But it's not as dominant now as it was back then. Syracuse, you had those Georgetown teams, particularly with John Thompson,
crazy work.
Yeah,
I also like to look at the talent that they produce as a coach that goes to the NBA. What type of players they put that went to the NBA from that team that were actually something or maintained a career in general.
That's fair.
I mean, go back and look at it.
I personally look at it that way. I know the world might not see it that way as them being a great college coach, but like say you look at what Dean Smith, John Thompson, some of these guys did. Like say Boeheim too, but
that man got. Look, my only issue with DC, I just don't think after those Nets teams, I just don't think we got the best we could have gotten out of him as a player.
He just became an enforcer.
Yeah, that's all he was. He was just an enforcer.
I mean, when he got with the Sixers, he was an enforcer.
But if you go back and look at him in college, and if you go back and look at him with those Nets teams, boy,
Calipari turned around that UMass team as well, John. So it wasn't.
He did.
Okay. Yeah. You can't stun about Calipari.
Yeah. No, like Calipari's coaching start was because of UMass.
Yeah.
He made that UMass Connecticut rivalry mean something again when he turned around that UMass team. Yeah. And of course the UMass team with Marcus Camby was, one of the best UMass teams in history.
It was.
Can't forget Marcus Camby, man.
Y'all don't get me out, man. How y'all gonna disrespect you?
What's up,
how y'all gonna what's up, man? How you gonna disrespect UNLV like that?
Ooh, they had the 90s. They had some teams, man. God,
baby.
Larry Johnson.
I didn't know it when I was coming up, but then when I looked back, and I was like, "Damn, all these players came from UNLV."
Larry Johnson.
Yep.
Stacey Augmon.
Yep.
Bruh. Ooh. Man.
Sean Marion came from UNLV?
I
thought he came out of Arizona.
I think Sean Marion went to UNLV.
I'll find out. I'll fact check.
Look it up for me, Andy. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, man.
Somewhere in that area.
I appreciate you, man.
Sean Marion, right? That's who we're looking for?
Yeah. Dallas Maverick.
He also played for the Heat.
Yeah, he did go to UNLV.
Played for the Heat too. Mm-hmm.
Yep. UNLV. He started his college at Vinicius from 96 to 98, and then in 98, 99, he went to UNLV.
Okay.
99 draft with the 9th pick by the Phoenix Suns.
Yep.
All right. So let me ask her this, because Gene wants to know our opinions. Who do we as a consensus? We talked about upsets a little bit earlier. But who I know who John ain't going with. We already know who
you
John
know
ain't
who
going
I
with.
ain't picking.
He
You
ain't picking
damn right. I ain't picking cute.
Who y'all think won in the bracket overall?
St. John's not a bad pick to go with.
No.
St.
They
John's
lost
coming
2
out.
next to no many games. So, and they playing Omaha the first round. Get out of here.
Omaha in the first round. Yo, look, I'm right there.
Omaha.
In Sioux City, Iowa. Omaha. If Omaha upsets, it's going to be a party in Omaha. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm actually I'm going to say Houston.
That was my first thought.
I haven't had the ability to watch a lot of college basketball this year, but I've watched a few Houston games, and they look like one of the tightest SEC teams. Statistically, no. I like Houston just from what I've seen of them from this year. They have one of the cleanest teams I've watched as far as execution, fundamentals, and things of that nature. And those are important things when you get down to the stretch. Just ask the New York Yankees.
Houston won their conference. You know that
it's hard to go. And John, I get you. I get where you coming from on hating Duke, but Cooper Flag is just sick, dude.
We'll see how Cooper.
And he's also got a hurt ankle.
Yeah, this is true.
I was going to say
somebody might kick him in it.
So somebody might get him.
I'm checking first.
Somebody might get him.
Somebody else got hurt on their team too.
John,
okay, he is
can't
white.
remember who it was. Is that what you were fact checking?
No, I didn't. I was gonna make a joke about white people's ankles, but then I was like, wait a minute, I don't want to be wrong again because I get roasted every time this happens. And sometimes a white name ain't a white name, so I had to check.
Oh yeah,
you're right. You're absolutely right. Well, no, you don't meet too many black guys named Cooper. So.
I
don't look at him.
His name together, Cooper Flag. I get it. It's cool. It's a cool name to have. But yeah, you ain't gonna meet a black guy named Cooper. Sorry. It's not happening.
I don't know why.
Boy.
You think little Cooper's acting up? He's white kid. So. I'm just being real. I'm just telling you, man.
Hey, but I'm gonna tell y'all though. If Cooper can, and I agree with Gene, if Cooper can overcome, that's a bad boy. That's a bad boy. If Cooper can overcome, he's a bad boy. That's a bad boy.
I want few girls to lose too, by the way.
Us is winning the bracket, probably Ando.
Why do you think I would win the bracket? I got to get $20 to put into the pot first before I can start telling you who I'm going to go with.
I'll tell you what, I will pay your $20 entry fee for the bracket if we split the winnings.
Oh, dude, easily done.
Okay, done.
Yeah.
Hey, that counts for me.
No, I pay for shit.
Yeah, well,
that counts for me. No, that counts as my sale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll spot 200. Well.
Yeah, that counts for my sale. So come to me. Hook it up.
Yeah,
Let your boy get one real quick. That's what I'm talking about.
We'll talk about it off stream. But yeah, if you want to spot me that 20,
I got you.
So sweet, man. Yeah.
Cool. That's an investment. I'm getting $500 out of that $20. So let's
right.
There you go.
No, in all seriousness, I don't know why Duke is kind of jumping off the paper. I know John doesn't want to hear that, but Duke is jumping off the paper. I like St. John's. I think Rick Pitino has done an amazing job turning that St. John's franchise around. I don't trust Auburn.
I don't either.
By Michigan State.
I don't trust any of these SEC teams.
Michigan State or Iowa State in that South region.
Oh my God, John, you need to
use some of that money to buy try.
Go Walgreens, John, because I heard they got a sale on Preparation H, and I heard that's really good for butt hurt. Okay, so go get you some Preparation
$1,000, y'all.
Ass down.
It's $1,000, y'all. I'm telling y'all, y'all need to jump in this.
Yes.
Our March Madness Bracket Mania Challenge. $1,000 to first place. $20. Come hook your boy up. See me on Facebook. I got you. I'll get you registered. I'll get you entered. Man, come on. But you got to be in it to win it, y'all. You got to be in it to win it.
We're doing this off of ESPN.
Yep.
Cool.
That's the best one to go.
Hey, some people do others, man.
That's the best one. I mean, I know Yahoo has one, but to me, the bracket challenge on ESPN, I just think that service is a little more comprehensive than Yahoo's.
When I play fantasy football, I play off of ESPN.
Yeah, but Yahoo's not. But yeah, but if I gotta go with one service, if I gotta go with two services, it would be ESPN and then Yahoo.
Yeah,
and then
Yahoo
CBS.
is great for fantasy baseball.
Yeah. They're good for that.
Hey,
they're good for that too.
We got to talk baseball today, Seven, because in like 7 hours we get our first baseball game of the season.
Yeah, I'm. I don't even know that I'm going to sleep tonight. That's my boss's problem. Yeah,
you can sell insurance with your eyes closed.
You can do it 7. You can do it. You can do it half sleep, cuz.
Yeah.
I mean, I live in the south part of Wichita, Kansas. There's probably some nose candy around here somewhere. I'm kidding. That's a great joke. Kids don't do drugs.
Damn.
Parents don't sue me. I'm kidding. I don't do that stuff. Never even touched it.
Me neither. Oh, God.
I didn't know until I watched a recent stand-up bit that cocaine is never lost. It's either placed and it's placed where it's at. It's never lost. You know, it was Billy Gardell, the guy that played Mike on Mike and Molly. He has lost so much weight. And he was talking about it. He's like, when they found the cocaine at the White House, and everybody's like, oh, it's Hunter Biden's. He's like, no, Hunter Biden did not lose his cocaine. If you're doing cocaine, you do not lose cocaine.
No,
because I lost my job, my car, my house, but I knew where my fucking cocaine was. Like, oh, that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. All right. Let me move over to the NBA real quick, you guys. We got Luka doing big things since LeBron James has been out with an injury.
Exactly.
And there's a conspiracy theory going on about LeBron James. About him claiming he was hurt doing a real rough spot in the Lakers schedule. There's some conspiracy going on about that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But over the last 8 games, Luka has been 32, 8-8. Does that make the Lakers the second best team in the West?
As long as they keep winning.
Because they're 4th.
Currently 5th.
I don't want them to win.
Me neither. I'm with you. Me neither.
No, right
Never
now
Never lost. I know they're 4th or 5th currently.
They're 5th. As of right now, OKC is 1, obviously. Houston is currently bracked up at the 2, Denver at the 3, Memphis at the 4, Lakers at the 5, and Warriors at the 6.
Where'd you say Houston was?
2nd.
They're 2nd.
Yeah.
Houston has a tiebreaker over Denver. And
we
Memphis.
just forced OT on somebody who was getting our butt kicked by, but that's okay.
The 76ers had a 25-point lead and lost it. Now they're losing it. Overtime.
Yep.
Damn.
We have 2 games in overtime right now.
My Rockets are almost healthy. Thompson's hurt, but we're almost have everybody healthy at the same time, which we haven't had all year. So
solid Sixers game right there to blow a 25.
Listen,
yeah.
All that matters to me right now.
We thought Doc Rivers was the coach.
That
one's for you, though.
I wonder if Joel Embiid was actually there. If that would have had more of an impact, like he'd just been there cheering him on, and instead of
Joel would have got them a 30-point lead, and they would have lost in regulation.
Right now, if everything holds, Bulls holding up. Bulls still have a lead over the Jazz.
Yeah,
86.
They actually
78.
opened it up. Yeah, they opened it up at the end of the 3rd because they're up by 8 now.
So they got to come on, Chicago. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, Chicago.
Please don't lose to the lonely Jazz.
Don't lose to the Jazz.
Team in the NBA Jazz.
Don't lose to the Jazz. Don't lose to the player who you gave away.
Yep.
Come on now. Still mad about
Lauri Markkanen still play for the Jazz?
Yeah.
I like Lauri. I don't know why we got.
I like Lauri too. I just think they didn't give Lauri enough time to develop.
No, in our organization, because Jerry Reinsdorf is in charge. By the way, fuck Jerry Reinsdorf. He thought he was too soft because he's a European player. And he didn't want him to blow it up like Luka thought that Luka was.
Ooh, boy.
So, no.
Ooh, boy. Sticking with the NBA. Has Tom Thibodeau not learned his freaking lesson?
Nope. No.
Of course he has.
He's doing it again.
He loses a strand of hair every time.
Yep.
Right over the top.
He's doing it again, you guys. He's doing it again.
He loses his hair at the rate that he kills NBA players' careers.
That's why the Knicks. That's why the Knicks ain't gonna win nothing.
Hey, the Knicks beat the Heat today. There's that.
They won't win a title. Because by the time the playoffs,
you got to beat a winning team to get a title.
Yeah, he won't win. No. He won't. With that philosophy.
No.
I would love to see the ratio of minutes since he's been a coach between his starting players and his bench players, and I bet you it's something like 2, maybe 3 to freaking 1. I bet you.
It's probably like 3 to 1.
Yeah, it's 3 to 1.
I bet you. It's ridiculous. You can't expect to win playing your starters 36, 37 minutes a game.
Especially in meaningless time. If you're in a blowout win or a blowout loss going into that,
pull them.
Sit your team down.
Yeah.
So
pull you guys.
That's not fair though, because I'm a bad G. Hold on.
All right.
Yeah, I still got
stuff on the back.
Yep.
There you go.
There you go. You good.
That's not fair to say though, because when I play 2K, I always run my starting unit 36 minutes a game, and then I separate my bench. So
2K though.
36. Yeah. How many minutes are you
That's
playing?
2K though. You could turn that on and off.
Oh, I play 48 full minutes, man.
Okay.
Just like when I play Madden. Well, okay. So
I normally play like online. 32.
I don't play online with
I can stat pad at 32 minutes.
Well, here's the problem, right?
I'm just saying.
I put the simulated minutes at 48. So if my team is playing 32 and the rest of the league is playing at 38, the statistics aren't going to be there. It's like, oh, how is he scoring 42 points in 32 minutes? It's like, first off, fuck you, ESPN analyst on 2K, or sorry, TNT analyst on ESPN.
That's a TNT
guy
analyst,
yeah. But no, I mean, when I play my sports games, I want that realistic kind of, play through. So, because Madden, I play the full 60 minutes in Madden too. When I play,
I do 60 on Madden. I do 60 on Madden myself. I ain't mad about that.
To be fair though, with Madden, I have the accelerated play clock on. So when I break the huddle, it goes down to 10 seconds. So I have enough time to run like a hot route or change the play if I read the defense right. Yeah. But in basketball, I mean, dude, it's just for me, if I'm only playing 5-8 minute quarters, like I don't get that whole envelopment to it. Like
I'm like good with 8 minutes, and though I can get my starters their minutes, I can stat pad all the above if I need.
Like, what's 2K? Why have I never heard of it?
No, look, just because I only have 3 black friends doesn't mean I know what good 2K is. Okay. All right.
I meant like you don't play video games.
Unless
hey, and seven got 2 of them on the screen right now.
No, that's what he's doing when he's waiting for people to buy insurance. He's playing 2K. He's getting his knowledge up on basketball by doing that.
No.
Oh man, but yeah. Who? Okay, this next question, and I might be a little bit egregious for asking it, but I'm asking anyway. Who do you trust more? Are we trusting the Golden State Warriors a little bit more now than what we did before the Jimmy Butler trade?
Yeah. You got a dependable second scorer, so Steph Curry isn't depending it on his own. Absolutely, like that trade completely changed the complexion of who Golden State was.
Mm-hmm. You can't just double team Steph Curry now.
Right.
Like, because Jimmy will torch you getting to the basket, or if he gets hot beyond the arc and he has a great mid-range game. So you always have to keep that in the forefront of your mind. Now, either we double team Steph and let Jimmy kill us.
Yep.
Point blank, period. There's no other way around that. Draymond is, he's probably going swimming, or somebody's going to, bait him with a red worm or a night crawler or something.
And John,
you said night crawler.
John, it's not NBA Jam.
That's how you catch a mouth. That's how you catch a wild mouth bass.
They don't roam NBA Street.
Oh man, I love NBA Street.
That was NBA Street.
NBA Jam was my jam.
Draymond was on NFL Street. He was not on NBA Street. He never should have been.
Was an underrated game. That game was fantastic.
And the Rockets win.
Street was good.
Well, EA Games and EA Sports, when they made their games like the NFL Streets, Def Jam Fight for New York was another one that was made.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Yeah,
Dude.
yeah.
Draymond was on Blitz.
Yep.
Blitz.
He was on the front freaking cover.
Like I don't know what happened to the EA Games Challenge Everything like that. That studio needs to come back, man.
Mo said they won one for the Warriors won a first round series and that's it.
It's a wrap. That's fair.
Well,
yeah.
I think it depends on who they draw for 3. Because
They're
at the
awful
moment,
small.
the playoffs starting right
If
now.
where are they at 6 seed right now?
Yeah, they're in the 6. So
They're
at
six-
the
they're
moment,
So
they're playing Denver.
5 and 6 play each other first round, right?
Nope.
No.
4 and 5 play each other.
4
6
and
plays
5
3.
play.
Yeah, 3 and
Ooh.
6 play. 3 and
Yeah,
6 play
and
against
right
each other.
now-
Well,
Right
if
now,
Memphis get that 3 seed, I think they could beat.
I'm kind of like, I'm kind of like a
Ooh,
Memphis
Denver
in
that-
that. I'm kind of like a Memphis in
If
that.
Memphis gets that 3 seed, I think the Dubs could get Memphis.
I kind of like Memphis in that spot. Because the thing with Golden State, they're smart. They're still a small team up front.
Yeah, but I like the Golden
Jaren
State
Jackson
experience.
Jaren Jackson Jr. might go off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. No, Draymond might tackle him out the game.
I did get the opportunity to watch that.
He
Lakers
gets frustrated. We will have to see.
Why you got Magic up out there like that?
But seriously, I think the Dubs' experience in the playoffs, along with having Jimmy Butler, that could get them if they end up playing Memphis. Now, if they play Denver, good luck. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
they don't.
Because they're not going to have the guys to take care of Jokic.
They're not size to take care of Joker. Yeah.
Draymond's going to headlock Joker every time that he gets the ball.
No, Joker fight back.
Yep.
Joker is going to pop that bottom lip like it was a bubble.
I did get the opportunity to see Phoenix play LA this weekend on Sunday.
I don't know what's wrong with Phoenix. They just don't.
No identity.
Mo says
they just don't have it.
Yeah.
Mo says Grizz is a bad bet. Tons of talent, but low basketball IQ and zero leadership.
I can agree with that.
That's a consistent problem for them. That's just what it
For
is.
Memphis or for Phoenix?
Grizz.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree.
What are we gonna do? Shotgun John Morant to the leadership position?
Jeez. Oh my God.
Oh, come on. That joke was right fucking there.
It was.
Damn, man. I didn't catch it till you said so. My bad.
EA
I called it
Sports.
too late.
EA Sports is in the game. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, with Phoenix, man, there's no identity on that team.
I don't understand why they even did the Bradley Beal deal. I never got
They just wanted to get rid of him that bad.
They did. And they thought he'd be something when he came back from injury, and he just has not.
and been there, hadn't.
He just hasn't.
Mm-mm.
He's a backup point guard now, if you ask me.
My favorite iteration of the Memphis Grizzlies was the grit and grind Grizzlies because they had an identity. They played really tough defense. If they had that philosophy or that kind of core mentality, the Grizzlies. It's John Morant. It's Desmond Bain still plays for Memphis, right?
Yeah.
And then it's Jaren Jackson Jr. So I mean, you got
I love that boy. I love his talent.
You got a big three, but you don't have anybody to lead them. And John Morant is not a leader. So
I love all that
they got
talent.
rid of Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
That was that was leadership mentality. He might not still play the same, but he definitely knows what it takes to get where you need to go.
Yeah.
I know that this is a little bit of a reach, but even if you had a guy in there like Chris Paul, I think that Memphis would be better off because it would give them an experienced focal point.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people that are down on Chris Paul because of his basketball playing abilities, and I get it. As a leader, he's great. He's also the VP of the
NBA
Players
Association.
Association.
He's the best. He's still probably one of the best floor generals in the NBA.
Oh, I would, I would say top 5 easy.
Still,
agreed.
Like that turns Memphis into a team that could make some noise, but without that, I have zero trust in that team at all.
Nope.
Yeah.
Memphis will be a one and done. It doesn't matter who they draw in the first round; they're one and done.
Yeah, because my boys can take them. So
I'm sorry, who are your boys?
Yeah, Rockets fan.
Oh, well, congratulations to the Rockets, man. I'm a Bulls fan, so we might beat the Heat. We're not going to beat the
Hawks. Pacers.
The Pacers, I don't know, man. I don't know.
The problem with the Pacers, the Bucks, and the Pistons is they're all playing kind of relatively the same basketball at the moment.
Yeah.
A game separates all three. Milwaukee's currently at the 4, 38 and 29. The Pacers are at 37 and 29, and the Pistons are at 38 and 31. I think that's really the only type of drama you have in the Eastern Conference playoffs. Obviously, Cleveland is 7.5 games ahead of Boston. Boston is 6.5 or 5.5 games ahead of New York. So your 1, 2, and 3 are set unless one of those 3 teams completely self-destruct.
Right.
I like Detroit. I think BJ Bickerstaff has turned that team around. I think Cade Cunningham is coming into his own.
Coach of the year.
What's
Oh,
that?
hell yeah, he should be. Particularly after we saw that his passionate speech the other night about the officials.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think Detroit going up to 4. Detroit and Milwaukee being a first round matchup as a 4-5 could be a very intriguing matchup because Milwaukee wants to prove that they're ready to contend for another title, and I think Giannis and Dame want to prove that they're not just a one and done team anymore. But they're the older franchise, and the younger upstart Pistons are going to be ready to kind of show that, hey, we're taking it now, man.
Can the Bucks be a championship team without Coach Rabble-Rouser?
You mean you mean Doc Rivers?
Booble Knocker, but Brabble-Deezer. How the hell do you say his? Oh, okay. I don't know.
You talking about Mike Budenholzer?
That's the one.
The coach
That's the one that everybody was saying should have been
I was
fired.
like, what the fuck you say?
Every series, I remember the year that the Bucks won.
Hey man, I was like, what
the hell is he talking about? I'm about to ask, who the hell? What?
But I still think it's hilarious that every series throughout the season, there was discussion about if Mike.
Wait a minute, seven. Pause, man. Who did you say that was?
Rabble-Rouser.
Bowser?
Yeah,
Rabble-Rouser.
Yeah.
Like for Mario.
No, you're not talking about Bowser from Mario. He said Rabble-Rouser.
Rebel-Rouser. Right? Rebel-Rouser.
Oh, okay.
But with the Bucks,
but I'm starting to think the Bucks window has closed too.
I mean, I wanted it to work for Dame so bad, but I don't know. I like the addition of Kuzma, but that don't put them over the edge. They'd have to have some luck going.
76ers easy. 76ers have the worst year.
76.
Yeah, Sixers.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna argue that it's the Suns, not just because I'm a Suns fan.
Because of the expectations that the Suns had.
Because when you look at that roster, we've known who Joel Embiid was for a while. So anybody that's a realist NBA fan had zero expectation of the 76ers. Their fans may have had higher expectations, but there's a lot of crap in Philly, so that doesn't surprise me. Yeah. When you look at the Suns, though, there is, even still after the trade deadline, there is so much talent on that team, but you are getting nothing accomplished. And there is zero evidence that we should have any faith that the Suns are going to do anything if they make the postseason. And you're going to have completely wasted the sizable investment that you had on KD.
Oh yeah, fact.
I
agree.
It's frustrating as a Suns fan, but this is I have to argue the Suns for that reason alone.
If KD never left the Warriors, he could have been classified in the GOAT status.
No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't.
What do you know? Because he's the third wheel on that championship team.
Yeah, he gets more taken out his legacy for being on that team than Kobe does for playing with Shaq, because Steph Curry is a hell of a lot more of an impactful player to a team than Shaq.
But I
got you think so?
I mean,
I don't know about that one, Seven. That's a tough one.
Dude, the Warriors had already won a title.
He sparked up a good combo.
The Warriors
absolutely.
The Warriors had won a title without KD, so they didn't need
KD.
No, they didn't need him.
So yeah,
but I'm piggybacking on what Seven said as far as Steph being more impactful than Shaq.
I don't know about all that. Don't let them 4,000. Don't let them 4,000. Don't let them 4,000.
That is a good ass conversation.
Don't let the 4,000 3-pointers go to your head.
In the era of basketball that we're playing, yes, I would agree with Seven that Steph has a better impact in this era of basketball.
Then here's my thing.
But
so if we just separate it by eras, like Dan was saying,
yeah, because I wasn't thinking about era.
Steph's impact to the game today is greater than Shaq's impact was on the game when he was playing. And that's not to say that Shaq was not talented and Shaq did not completely change our perspective of what we should see out of a big in the NBA. and he, and especially his personality is great.
He became the most hated big for a while, if you ask me, because people didn't like the way he played. He pushed everybody around, and nobody liked it.
He used his size, he used his talent and his blessings
and
to
his athleticism. Yeah,
I will not knock Shaq's impact on the game. However, you don't, it's like you could actually see more kids today. I want to be like Steph Curry than I want to be like LeBron James.
So when we say impact, like I'm thinking impact as an NBA player, not impact as in affecting fans or the way people play basketball. I'm thinking an impact to the team he was on.
But because when we talk about the GOATs, we look at Jordan, and we look at the Jordan versus LeBron debate. Yes, we talk about the 6 for 6, but one of the other things that a lot of Jordan fans will also talk about is the impact that Jordan had on basketball as a whole, because that is a very dominating aspect of the Jordan GOAT legacy. Am I wrong?
No, I agree.
Okay. No. So now when we look at when we're talking about the impact on the game that Shaq had versus the impact that Steph Curry has right now. If Kevin Durant had played on that team, Kevin Durant would not be seen as the player that he is today, because it would have been overshadowed by who he was playing with in a greater sense than what got taken off of Kobe's legacy because he was playing with Shaq. Because if Kobe never played with Shaq, Kobe's in the GOAT conversation more than he is currently.
But does Jordan win without Pippen? Did he win without Pippen?
He never did. He didn't. What? Even the first 2 years that he played with Pippen, they didn't win because they got stumped by the.
Yeah, but he was still developing.
Pippen
That's okay.
Pippen
came in what?
Yeah, Rodman was a part of the Bad Boy Pippen. Part of the Bad Boy Pistons until '92, and then he went to the Spurs.
And what's up, Steven? How you doing, man?
Until for the
welcome to the stream.
Yeah, no, Rodman was a part of that second three-peat. He got signed with the Bulls.
Rodman was the second three-peat.
So but with
because he wore out his welcome with Greg Popovich.
Right.
Yep. Quick. It's like get him out of here.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to say could Jordan have done what he did without Pippen? The short answer is probably not, because there are not a lot of players.
But I don't think he gets 6.
Right. Well, it's the thing for me is because of how unique of a player that Scottie Pippen was.
Yeah.
And that's where my argument is, and that's why, to me, I actually pull a little back from Jordan's GOAT legacy because of playing with Pippen, because I respect the greatness of Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take long about learning about Scottie Pippen to understand why that does matter. Because he is a fucking beast.
But the thing about it, and this is what I try to tell folks, LeBron didn't win by himself either.
No, he didn't.
If you go back and you look at it, he's played with more Hall of Famers than Michael Jordan has.
Absolutely.
And Michael Jordan kept more Hall of Famers from getting.
LeBron pulled. KD did the same thing, and Bron did the same thing. If you ask me, they both did it. They both went to teams that already had superstar players, and invited, in Bron's case, invited a whole nother superstar player from a different team, and ruined his career, by the way.
Gene, hold on, Steph. Okay, you pull away from Jordan's GOAT combo because of Pippen. Who's your GOAT? I mean, old school, I definitely, not in the modern game. Old school, I'm still going to go Bill Russell. Nobody's going to top 11 championships. And some of that also comes from the fact that I work with a guy that played in the NBA for a long time and played against Bill Russell and played against Michael Jordan. And he says Bill Russell, I'm going to trust him over a bunch of nutsacks like us that talk sports all the time.
Nobody could argue. If you don't put Jordan, you can argue Kareem.
You can argue
against two different decades.
I even can justify Kobe. I don't take away.
Absolutely.
I don't take away from Kobe's legacy because he played with Shaq like so many people do. I think that Kobe,
but that was something they put together. They didn't try to call each other up and try to, like these banana boat boys. Like they didn't fucking do that.
Yeah.
Man,
I'm just saying.
I would be canceled if I fucking called him that. I just want to say that if I called them Banana Boat Boys, I would get fucking canceled.
Oh, my bad.
Look down there, y'all. So some of these are really weak arguments. Did Magic win without Kareem? Bird without Mikal and Paris? Zach without Dumas and Rodman? LeBron without
those other guys.
Yeah, but they were all like you said. They just didn't pull a weak move and go to a already strong team when they were already
Pippen could have
superstars.
left at any time.
He could have.
He could have gone wherever he wanted.
Pippen was on the trade block for most of that second three-peat.
Hold up.
Russell wasn't even the best of his era. Right, but how many people from Bill Russell's era won 11 championships?
But the thing about it wasn't just him. Look at the team.
Exactly.
Look at the team. Look at the team.
Conversation.
Right, and it's a good beginning to the conversation because if you look at the teams that Russell was a part of, oh my gosh.
Right. Yeah. He played with some supreme talent. So
yeah, absolutely.
So did Michael Jordan. So did LeBron James. So did Steph Curry.
But
so did Kobe Bryant. So did Magic. So did Kareem.
The difference in some of all of these guys that aren't superstars with superstars, they're superstars with another star on the team.
Yeah.
If, for instance, Jordan and Pippen were all right. They're the two main guys. They're the two superstars on the team.
Yep.
Some people might call Pippen a star, but Rodman was the best rebounder and defensive player.
Yeah.
They had the best role players at their positions.
You could say the same
in order
about
to win.
Horace Grant was that player on their first three-peat.
Yeah, Horace Grant was the best one of the best rebounders in the league.
You can make comparisons between the two Bulls three-peats because you had John Paxson as your deep threat. You can say that Steve Kerr was the deep threat.
That's it. That's the same player.
Bill Wellington was the great guy coming off the bench behind Luke Longley. Bill Cartwright was the guy that manned the middle. So
then they ended up having freaking Will Perdue.
Yep.
And Bill Cartwright.
Will Perdue was part of that trade that got Dennis out of San Antonio.
Yep. And Bill Cartwright never had that flicked shot block.
No.
There is
something.
Hey, no, we all can agree that Kevin Ducksworth had the best shot out of everybody in the NBA.
It wasn't like Cartwright's.
Dude, no. Take a look at
it wasn't like Bill Cartwright's. That jigger brought the ball. He brought the ball. He cradled the ball. He brought the ball all the way around and then shot it from the key.
Will look up Kevin Ducksworth's jump shot. I kid you not. Kevin Ducksworth had the best. It's like there's something about his shot. Like his hand goes.
I'm not talking about best shot. I'm talking about the weirdest shot. I'm not talking about best shot.
Oh no,
I don't know.
Sean Marion had one of the best shots.
Sean Marion is the weirdest shot.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, Lonzo Ball is pretty bad.
Sean Marion was bad.
Yeah,
but if you go back like I said, Cartwright brought that thing all the way over, and then he shot it at the apex, like he was a bird, and it hit.
Will, you gotta watch Kevin Ducksworth's
from the baseline.
shot. Kevin Ducksworth of the Portland Trailblazers. You need to watch. And yes, Joakim Noah's shot was absolutely atrocious too.
It was atrocious. It was atrocious. Cartwright was just funny to me.
Hated shooting free throws with Joakim Noah.
Absolutely.
What was like years better than Bill Russell.
As an individual player, I mean,
he is.
Offensively,
and
offensively,
yeah. Offensively, for sure. But, I mean...
Because he still wasn't a better rebounder. He wasn't a better shot blocker.
Will got all the rebounds because he was the tallest guy on the floor because nobody was as tall as Will, right? So Wilt had that advantage coming, like...
He was a whole
I think Kareem was the next guy that was tall enough to compete with him.
Wilt still knew how to rebound. Wilt was like a whole foot taller than the rest of the league.
Yeah.
You guys are forgetting one person in the shot category, and I have to talk about this. Meadowlark Lemon. And I think because he spent so much, it's because he played for the Globetrotters. Nobody really thinks about Meadowlark in the shooting category. But first of all, you have to have a wide range of ability to shoot to do what the Globetrotters did then and do currently. But I did a basketball camp when I was a kid. And it was hosted by Meadowlark Lemon and I can't remember the guy's name, but it was the then coach of the Harlem Globetrotters. And at the start of the day, as he was talking to us about the fundamentals of basketball, and he started at the free throw line, which we can all agree is just one of those basic fundamentals you should have as an NBA, as a basketball player, just understanding you could get to the line and sink that shot. And as he was talking to us, he took like 15 free throws. without missing. And what it was is he would sink the shot. The coach would catch the ball, pass him the ball, he'd make it. His free throw routine, first of all, was to catch the ball and shoot it. He didn't spend a lot of time dribbling it or anything else. He caught the ball, made sure his hands were in the right spot, made that little fucking T that they teach you in basics, made sure it was where he wanted it, and he shot the ball. That was it.
Gene says, go look at Wilt's stats in the mid-60s and compare it to Bill's overall.
And you'll laugh. Man, I triggered some people in the chat saying that. Good God, that's funny.
You did.
Meadowlark's ability to shoot it in any position and get it where he wanted it to, while it still looked weird or funny, is something that I don't think people talked about enough, because he had such a unique talent on the floor.
Oh my God. All right, here we go. Perfect question from the chat. Perfect question. Bill Cartwright's messed up shot or Charles Barkley's golf swing? Which is worse?
Golf swing.
Yeah, I gotta go with my golf.
Which is worse? The golf swing. Golf swing is worse. I would rather have the Cartwright shot.
I gotta go with my golf shot there, Ernie. It's pretty bad. It's terrible. All right, my golf swing is like paper. It's terrible.
But my thing, Mo, is this.
Terrible.
My thing, Mo, is this. I'm not trying to disrespect Bill, because Bill was all-time great defender. If anyone gave Wilt trouble on the defensive end, it was him.
It was Bill.
But
Bill was in there for block shots and rebounds.
Right.
That was it. He wasn't there to score the basketball. That wasn't his
one
purpose.
thing that with a lot of these arguments when it comes to GOAT, and this is why I said what I said.
Good argument.
I wanted to get people going, and I knew it was going to work. When it comes to the GOAT argument,
he even top 10.
Top 10. Okay. When it comes to the GOAT argument,
Seven really set him off.
You by yourself.
I did.
Seven really got him mad.
Seven's gonna have to change his name to Controversial Seven.
No, it's this is exactly what I wanted to happen.
Contra 7. That's his new name. Contra 7.
When it comes to the GOAT argument, most of the things that people use in the argument of their player, whether it is Bill or Kobe or Michael or LeBron or Steph is going to be in that conversation now. Like all of these players, most of the achievements, especially when we start talking about teams, as far as like championships, as part of their GOAT argument. There's what, 12, 13, 14, 15 players on an NBA roster, 16.
Ooh.
And it's a team sport, the same fucking tennis.
Yeah.
Bill Russell is one of the greatest winners in NBA history because he was always on a good team. And that's why I don't actually think I'm definitely a Jordan is the GOAT guy. I just like fucking with people.
Yeah.
See, I've been a part of the podcast for long enough that when I came into the podcast, I'm always going to be a Jordan's baby, right? That's how I got into my love for basketball. But being with the panel, you guys have kind of opened my, especially like football, you can kind of go, well, quarterbacks play the same position. The quarterbacks always throw. So in a throwing motion, you can say this quarterback's better than this quarterback because he won more rings or he had more yardage. But because basketball, I think basketball fundamentally is still the same, but you have to work together. Seven said it best. I mean, you can have the same.
I really triggered them. This is fucking great.
But here's the thing. And Ando, I get where you're going. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, you good.
And here's the thing that gets me with, and you got him good time. You big time. You got him big time. And I agree with him on this list more than others because of the fact Jordan is number one. If you want to if Dan was here, we know what way Dan would go.
Yeah.
You already know what way he was
Braun
going.
2 and Jordan. He had Braun 1, Jordan 2.
Terrible call.
Right.
On this list, I personally would go Jordan 1. I like Kobe at 2 and LeBron at 3. I would honestly take Wilt off. I know I'm going to catch some hate for that. Yeah, but in my top 10, you have to put John Stockton. At some point, John Stockton has to be top 10.
I can't.
Here's my reason. Yes.
I'm taking Steph over John Stockton.
I didn't say he was over John Stockton. I said John Stockton is in the top 10. I take Wilt out and put John Stockton in. And my argument is Stockton never played the game for himself. He set everybody else up at the table to eat first. He was the number one defensive player. I never saw Jerry West play, and I don't know enough about Oscar Robertson. You want me to try? Dude, there's something about the way that drugs. I
think
I like the way that John Stockton played, right? John Stockton was never that it's all about me player, right? And a lot of people can argue that LeBron had, I'm going to get my stats first. I want to get my championships. So I'm going to be the GOAT. Jordan obviously had that fire mentality about him too. John Stockton always played defense first. That's why he is still the leader in steals, and he is the leader in assists. So he never.
He ain't losing in no time soon, if ever.
No. And that's
that, and the steals record is
exactly.
One of them.
It's out of this world. Look how long Chris Paul been playing, and he's still 3,000 assists away.
And look how many games Stockton missed over his career as a whole.
Right. What 10?
Might be 10. Might be 10.
Might be 10 in 20 years.
He missed like 30 games, I think, the entirety of his career, maybe 30. But to have a team, yes, do I want those alpha dogs? Do I want that Michael Jordan? Do I want that LeBron James? Do I want that Kobe Bryant? You're absolutely right, I do. But you need to have somebody who is selfless with the ball and be able to go, hey, I'm going to set you up. Stockton, averaged 13, 14, 15 assists and still got 15, 16 points a game, right?
Absolutely.
Now, it's a lot of that had to do because a lot of the pressure with the teams that Stockton was on, Karl Malone was the focal point on that. And I absolutely get it. Steve Nash is also one of the. I put Steve Nash in the top 5 of my point guards.
Okay. But Gene's list was all time.
Yeah, no, and
I'm not putting as much of respect that I got for John Stockton. I'm not putting him that high up. He is an all-time great at his position.
Absolutely,
but
he's top 3 in his position.
But if I'm taking an all-time player, I'm old school. I'm more old school than Ando. And I know Steph has more of a recency bias than Magic.
Yeah.
But I'm still taking Magic over Steph.
I would take Magic over Steph.
So even if Steph gets a 5th ring, you still take Magic over Steph.
That changes things.
Yeah.
That changes things.
So that puts Steph over the bar.
That might put Steph over the bar with that 5th ring.
Okay.
Hold on.
But I was just wanting to know where the line was.
How many does Magic have? Is it 4?
5.
5. He doesn't. Okay. All right. Okay. That's all right. Okay, I can understand that.
Nope. More recent, and I again, this is why I love having the conversation with you guys. Stockton never won a ring. That is the only thing holding John Stockton back.
And who stopped him from winning them rings?
But that's what makes Jordan the GOAT.
Yep.
Exactly.
He stopped how many of these top 75 players from getting a damn ring?
Charles Barkley. He stopped Gary Payton got a ring with the Heat, so he stopped Sean Kemp from getting one.
But he's in his era, he stopped it.
Yeah, you're right.
So he's on the list too.
Didn't he stop Steve Nash?
Who, Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
No, Steve Nash wasn't a part of that.
Steve Nash, no.
Nash got drafted in the 96 draft by the Suns.
Yeah, he was in the 96 draft.
I thought it was a little early. No, so wait, was it?
Yeah, he's part of that infamous 96 draft. So.
Yep.
Wait.
Yep.
Yeah, no, because the point guard.
You can go. No, he didn't stop Hakeem from getting a ring because
the point guards that were a part.
He could have. He didn't retire.
Right. I don't know. That would have been a hell of a fight, man. Good God.
Point guards, yeah, dude. I could get into the talk about Chicago and Houston in the 94-95 finals.
That fucking game. Them games. That 7-game series would have been crazy.
So
Vernon Maxwell would have been ready to go for it.
If Vernon Maxwell wasn't,
but he already gave that up. That Jordan was fucking torturing his ass.
You gotta remember, Will. You gotta remember in that second Heat's championship where the Rockets, the Rockets.
Behind Bill Russell.
Oh God! Come on, Gene.
The Rockets second championship.
The Suns fan in me wants to argue, but the realist in me knows that you're.
Did Gene just hit the? You called him a goal.
Will is a better
defender than Steve Nash.
So my argument with the Rockets winning that second ring, the Rockets had Clyde Drexler. So it gave, and then they were coming off with Sam Cassell coming off the bench as a rookie. They still had Kenny the Jet Smith. They had big shot Rob Horry on that same Rockets team
they
as well.
had a team.
So
They had a squad.
they had one, right? I don't think the Bulls bench in that 94-95 season, even if Jordan had the full year to commit and keep the team together, I don't know if that Bulls team would have beat the Rockets. Am I going to say they win in 7? Absolutely. It's the only 7-game final series that the Bulls would have had. But it is hard for me. And they were a 6 seed. The Rockets were a 6 seed going into that playoff. So they beat 3 top teams in the West and then beat the number 1 seeded Orlando Magic. So they beat the 4 best teams in the NBA that year to make it. The Bulls never had to do that. Jordan never did that. Then again, Jordan was always on top, so he never had to worry about taking on anybody else.
On top.
Right.
Sure did.
Yeah. So
they didn't want to play him anyway.
No. And if you take a look at who Jordan played the Bad Boy Pistons, 4 straight years, and beat them the final year that they finally played to get over that hump. They played Reggie Miller in the Pacers. They played Patrick Ewing in the Knicks. They finally swept Shaq and the Magic. So a lot of people are saying, "Oh,
he took out Charles Barkley in the finals. He took out, like you said, Gary Payton and Sean Kemp, Karl Malone and Stockton twice."
I'm just talking Eastern Conference because keep in mind, before they got beat by the Bad Boy Pistons, how many Cavs teams did they take out with their big 3 between Mark Price, Larry Nance, and Brad?
Hold up now. We disrespecting the greatness of Ron Harper? I'm just kidding.
No,
dude.
No, they went and got Ron Harper for a reason.
Yeah, they did. I'm just kidding. I love Ron, but because before Ron got hurt, he was that dude.
But you guys realize why Cleveland got rid of Ron Harper, right?
Hold on. Okay, hold on. Nope. Show that next one. Nope.
No, that's
nope. Now, here's the thing. This is some bullshit, and that's disrespectful to Steve Nash. Okay, I will take
defensively. Yes,
deserve his second MVP. That is a true unavoidable statement. Steve Nash did not avoid his second. It did not deserve his second MVP.
No,
you know what though?
Compare him to say he's the same as Trae Young. That is absolutely atrocious.
You know what though? I did not understand the first one. I got you. Yeah, I'll give him that first. I'll give Nash that first MVP. I ain't giving him that second.
Nah, that second. That should have been Kobe's.
That should have been Kobe's. Steve Nash won the MVP with 16 points again, 12 assists, and then 18 points and 10 assists. Those stats might not get you in the All-Star game right now. So true.
I didn't know we were talking about Kwame Brown.
We can debate about the year Nash versus Kobe, but the year he beat out Shaq, that wasn't close.
I think he's trying to say that poop wasn't close.
Because if that's the case, then Stockton should have had some MVPs, but of course it was the Jordan era, so he wasn't getting any.
Yeah. No, it wasn't close. No. Steve Nash. That was
that first one. I will always give to Steve. I will always give Nash that first one.
They had the best team in the league, so I get it.
I will always give him that first one, but I ain't giving him that second. No.
Every year that Jordan got he beat them in the finals. Barkley won the MVP over Jordan in '93, beat him in the finals. Jordan won about '98, beat him in the finals. So.
Jordan was like, he said something about my mother. He said something about my father. I'm going to kill him. And Jordan's psycho. Like, that's how he fucking thinks.
That's how he keeps his mentality going. Yeah.
He's like a black Bobby Boucher.
Right.
Tackling. Real quick. I got one more thing on NFL I want to get to. Then after that, I'm gonna let Seven go ahead and get to the space ball. We'll go over our March Madness challenge one more time, and then we're going out of here for the night. Real quick, thoughts on Cooper Kupp going to the Seahawks?
Love it.
Waste of his fucking talent.
Whoa. First off,
I thought that's a good thing.
Being Washington raised and being from the same city that Cooper Kupp is in, I absolutely love it. I love that the Seahawks are bringing him home on a hometown discount. Absolutely love it. That being said, for anybody who's watching and wants to learn how to pronounce the town that he's from, it's called Yakima, not Yamaka, not Yakimiya. It's Yakima.
You can pronounce that, but not Bayheim.
Names are different, bro. Names are hard, okay? Names are hard.
Yakima is a name. It's just not a person's name.
It's a tribe of names, all right? You're hating an entire tribe if you say
I do like him going to the Broncos a little bit better.
I do
because at least with the Broncos, you have
better coaching, a better offense,
you have better coaching.
Whoa. Okay, I'll give you
and I'm sorry, and I know Sam Darnold is coming off an amazing year, but this year is going to be different because he's not going to a team that was made for him to succeed. He doesn't have a Justin Jefferson. He doesn't have a Jordan Addison. He doesn't have.
He ain't gonna be no better than Geno Smith.
A fantastic tight end fantastic tight ends that he played with in Minnesota. He ain't gonna have none of that.
He's not Noah Fant. It's just like TJ Hawkinson. They both went to Iowa. They went to tight end
Noah Fant is not Hawkinson.
No. And here's my thing.
No, Hawkinson is not. Hawkinson is more talented.
Hawkinson has a beard like 7, okay? That's why everybody loves TJ Hawkinson. I got you, 7. Go ahead. What were you saying?
The reason why I think Cooper Kupp as Seattle is a waste is because, you just got Sam Darnold. Okay, that's great. But you're also looking at a quarterback that can't close when it matters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cooper Kupp is one of those receivers that's going to end up getting looked back as a great that that really didn't get to see his full potential because of the talent he played around. And this is going to be another example because he does not have the talent that he should. If he goes to Denver, first of all, that makes Denver that much scarier for us as Kansas City fans.
Which is why I don't like the move.
But for him, he's around a lot more talent. It's a much better team because
that's true.
You can, it's like the difference between getting a ride in a really nice Ford Excursion and getting to climb into a Porsche Cayenne, where you don't hear anything outside.
Right.
The ride is so smooth you don't know you even left.
You got a Porsche? I'm just kidding.
Now he's going to a dump truck with the Seahawks.
It's a much tougher track, and
a dump truck.
A dump truck.
There's so much more. There's so many things wrong with that division. Like it's up for grabs in a bad way. You know what I mean,
bro? That
so
team
they pretty much traded him. He's in the same division. As
the Rams.
Yeah, they're gonna have to see him twice a year.
Yep. My thing is this. And both of these guys,
home video.
And both of these guys are saying the Seahawks going to win 6.5 games. Mo said 7.
I
don't think they win that many, to be honest.
I think they can get to 6 or 7 wins. I
don't think they can.
I don't think Arizona hasn't really hit me with the way that they're improving. The Rams have lost a lot of pieces. Granted, they picked up Devontae Adams, but the 49ers have also lost a lot of pieces. So
they just get rid of people. They didn't lose. They just
trimming salary cap right now.
They're
trimming salary.
They did
trimming salary. They got you checks back though.
But that's when you're signing a fullback in a league that doesn't really use fullbacks anymore. As much as I respect Kyle's ability,
and then you lost Jordan Mason.
Yeah.
Now the one good thing that the Niners did, they're getting draft picks. They can restock and rebuild. Your Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings.
Sure did get him.
But Rams win that division. Because I don't know if y'all noticed the Rams or not. That's a good young defense.
They are.
That's a good young defense.
I saw it firsthand. You ain't got to remember.
Yeah, that's a good young defense. They can run the football.
Yeah.
They can run the football. That Rams team's going to be tough. They're going to win that.
Still going to have a passing offense.
Yes, they are. Yes. And Arizona's not going to be much until they get rid of Kyler Murray. And I don't know why they haven't made that choice. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that Kyler Murray's not a good football player, but by NFL standards, he's not great. And
that offense ain't great. He's a systematic type of player. Like he needs
he in a system that ain't working because they ain't winning.
He needs to be in some sort of old school run and gun offense.
He needs to be like that quarterback at Six Flags where he just runs around the entire amusement park.
Yep.
running around with mom and dad's phone.
Can't even see if he can't even see over his he can't even see over his offensive line. You still got to run him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the hard part for me is there's so many things wrong with that.
Yep, I agree, Mo. I agree.
He's just good enough to break your heart, and that's I've got a lot of friends that are Cardinals fans. I used to live out in Phoenix, and that's the general consensus: is you kind of want to believe in him, and then when he fails, it's just like really
just breaks your heart.
It is, it is, and that's I feel bad for Cardinals fans because outside of in recent history, outside of Kurt Warner, the team has not had a true solid quarterback that they could actually rely on.
I would argue Jake Plummer. Jake Plummer was a good quarterback.
Jake Plummer was before Kurt Warner.
Yep. I would say in the last
Jake Plummer was the first quarterback I remember of the Arizona Cardinals when I was a kid.
He was all right.
Met him before.
Jake was all right though.
What year did the Cardinals come into existence?
The Cardinals moved to Arizona in, I believe 1990, 89, 90.
I was about to say, it had to be late 80s, 90s.
Yeah,
they were known as Phoenix before they changed their name to Arizona.
Yes, the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, because they played when they first moved to Arizona. They played in Sun Devil Stadium.
Yep.
Yeah, look at those numbers.
Yeah, they actually played in Sun Devil Stadium until
2004.
Well, no, because they played in Sun Devil Stadium for quite a while. I think they actually played until they had. They had Farm University or State Farm Stadium.
Yeah, and I believe it was 2004. It was either 04 or 5 or 06 when that got completed.
Now
they played in this Cardinal Stadium for a while, or the Sun Devil Stadium. For a while.
Yeah.
Now look at those numbers John just put on the screen for Kyler Murray. Nobody want that.
Nope.
Yeah, nobody's gonna. Is he? And this is
nobody want that.
This is where Cardinals leadership fails again, because you have a bad contract,
right?
The bad with a player that's doesn't fit.
Nope.
You took on Cliff Dingleberry before he was ready to be a head coach, and I'm not saying he's not doing better now. I'm not gonna say he's not doing better now. Cliff Dingleberry was not ready to be a head coach when he was the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals.
I agree.
He hadn't even been able to figure out how to win when he had Patrick Mahomes at quarterback at Texas Tech. I'm sorry, he was not ready. And you make that choice when there was clearly better choices on the horizon for the Cardinals at head coach, including a couple of black head coaches that got passed over for that job that should have.
What's up, Carmine? How you doing, man?
And you had Steve Keim, who was collecting DUIs like they were fucking Pokemon cards. And he was known as a colossal dick in Arizona.
Let me bring on our girl Erica. Erica, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm so sorry. It's like nothing left of the show, but it's St. Patrick's Day and I'm Irish and I had to enjoy it. So
I got a question for Seven. Then we'll do baseball and we'll get on out of here.
Okay.
John's gonna sign Jameis Winston.
No, Jameis ain't gonna sign.
It's very possible.
Jameis Winston.
No, Ando. After earlier, you shut the hell up.
What did I do?
What did Ando do? What did I
do?
What name can you still not say, despite the fact that you heard them say it multiple times?
Boheim.
Thank you.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
He said Bohemian. Bohemian. We got Bohemian.
It's Boeheim, man.
Boeheim.
Look, my bad. I'm on.
Come on, Jim.
Thank you,
Jim Boeheim.
Giants looking at Russell Wilson and Joe Flacco. Jesus Christ, let that man retire.
He doesn't want to.
That man want to keep playing.
Lights out, Flacco.
That man want to keep playing. Let that man keep playing. Don't be disrespecting that man like that. Let that man keep playing.
Y'all catch that later.
Don't be disrespecting that man like that. Let that man keep playing if you want to. It is bad, though.
He keeps seeming to get in the game everywhere he goes.
It is bad, though.
Listen,
he gets the start everywhere he goes.
It's like Aaron Rodgers. They just need to give up. It's time.
No, if the 40-year-old can do the job of a 25-year-old and still do it competitively, fuck that. Give it to the 40-year-old.
Thank you. Let that man get his money.
That's why we're up in the air.
Alone. Let that man get his money.
I grounded against 7.
Ando, I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. Okay. Now, Erica, please understand that I do not mean any disrespect to you when I say this. Okay. But if you're looking at a 40-year-old prostitute and a 25-year-old prostitute, they're both the same price. Which one you buying? Thank you.
Depends on how they look.
Thank you, John.
Depends on how they look.
Everything else all equal. The only difference.
I don't mind me a cougar.
Right?
You kidding me?
I'm
33, bro.
Listen, I am more than willing
He
to
40 and she look right.
Yo,
that 40-year-old
Brandy
boy
Love,
might be hit.
John, Brandy Love still be looking really good for her age, man. I'm just saying. Erica, Brandy Love is a porn star on Pornhub, okay?
Oh my gosh. This show is going off the freaking rails. Oh my God.
This is your fault. This is your fault.
Oh my God,
Well,
Again,
I mean, if we being real, Lisa Ann still looks good too.
She does, but she's retired. That's why I went with Brandy.
She had too many boob jobs. Hey, those be being honest.
But all right.
Being honest.
Okay, what's
but all right. We need to go ahead and pay some bills. And we're gonna get into our baseball talk. Then we're gonna get on out of here. Please continue to hang out with us. We're gonna be right back, you guys.
National Streaming Sports is brought to you in part by BetUs.com, designed for true fans. NFL odds, Week 1 and futures, college football odds, including Heisman Trophy favorites and playoff odds, NBA odds of division winners and playoffs, Major League Baseball playoff and World Series odds, the National Hockey League Conference playoffs and Stanley Cup odds, and boxing wagers. Betting opportunities include versus the spreads and outright winners, also during the game. Use our link on our website, nessp.info, the Bet Us Opportunities webpage, for a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits. Must be 21 years old, and remember, bet responsibly.
Football season is here, and SeatGeek is my go-to for buying tickets. Now with SeatGeek, every single ticket is backed with their buyer guarantee. We've all had plans change, and when you can't make it to the big game, SeatGeek has you covered. They're the only ticketer that allows you to return your tickets ahead of the event for credit with SeatGeek swaps. So when things come up, I know that my tickets won't go to waste. So what are you waiting for? Download the SeatGeek app to maximize your possibilities and shop live events with confidence.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We'll bring Erica back as soon as there she is. And real quick, guys, before Seven gets into his baseball and before we end the show, I do want to say a reminder one more time. Definitely. March Madness Bracket Mania Challenge we got going on Wide to Wide Sports. $20 per entry. You can win up to $1,000 grand prize for first place. Hit me up on Facebook. I've been happy to give you more details to get you entered, get you in there. Definitely join us. You got to be in it to win it, you guys. Got to be in it to win it. So definitely check us out. Wide to Wide Sports March Madness Bracket Mania Challenge. $1,000 prize for the first place winner. $20 per entry. Hit me up on Facebook. You also hit me up on YouTube and Twitch. I'll be more happy to give you that information. All right. Seven. Go ahead with your baseball, and then we're going to roll out.
Well, a couple of quick things with baseball here. First of all, podcast name deferred will be back starting next week. For those of you on Wire to Wire Sports, this is new. This is my baseball podcast. It was previously called Winter Meetings, but our one of our members of that cast did pass away after that season, and so as we bring it back, we're bringing it back with a fresh name. My co-host Craig Newton, who used to be a MLB writer for Trading Card Magazine and also covered the A's and the Giants for a couple of newspapers on the West Coast, will be my co-host yet again. We already have interviews scheduled with a former MLB umpire as well as a baseball historian, who are both fantastic individuals, and I can't wait to introduce you guys to them. And then we do have currently in the works, we're still trying to nail down getting a MLB Hall of Famer to commit to joining us for an episode. No details yet on who that will be until we know for sure. But you can bet your sweet ass we'll be promoting it when it gets announced. So, Erica, I want to tee this off to you first, though. We have the first games of the season, the Japanese series with your LA Dodgers and the Chicago Cubs teeing things off. It starts this game. The first game is Tuesday morning at 5:10 Central Time.
5:10 Eastern.
10
5:10
Eastern
Central.
Tuesday morning on Fox. Erica, how you feeling about your Dodgers going into the victory lap following their World Series season in Japan?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think there's like a lot of expectation for us to fail again. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of excited to see where the season goes. I'm kind of excited to see what the Dodgers do coming off of a World Series win from a legitimate season. So it's no longer a Mickey Mouse win. You know, I mean, I'm excited. I'm really ready to see where we go this season and what we do with this season. Especially with like the list that we have sitting. I think we're sitting in a really good position. We don't need Juan Soto to win games. So
well, it's
Ohtani.
John Suggs, I do see your question. We'll get to that. That's a good question. Because I actually tease up something that I definitely think we should discuss. But it's the Dodgers have a positive outlook. There's a great roster in LA this year. I mean, when you have $1 billion in advertising money that you get just from the country of Japan alone, in advertising deals since signing Shohei, it's very easy to be able to have pockets deep enough to afford the best that you can get.
For sure.
And I think that the standard for the Dodgers is World Series or bust, and it absolutely has to be. They created that themselves.
For sure.
So we got to see what they can do. How do you, Ando, I'll tee you up on this one, see if you have any thoughts. The Cubs are coming off of a rough season, but they made some changes. How do you think they fare compared to last year?
I'm a lovable Cubs fan. I think I secretly root for him. I'm a Mariners fan through and through, though. So, you know, pity on me for never making it to a World Series. But that being said, I think the Dodgers sweep the series. It's hard for me to bet against the Dodgers, at least in the first couple series, because of just the sheer amount of talent that they have on that team. Yes, the Cubs made some changes, but you got Yamamoto coming off the mound on the first game. Freddie Freeman's coming back. Jake Vogel's coming back. It's hard to say that the Dodgers are going to lose the series. Again, you got all those fans in Tokyo that are going to be going for Shohei, going to be going for the Dodgers because that's the team that kind of adopted them as their lovable team. That said, I think Dodgers take the series, and it's good to have baseball back.
I think it's pretty realistic that the Dodgers take those games. I like the Cubs as well. I'm one of those, like when I lived in Arizona, I would go to Sloan Park every year for a spring training game. I have a lot of friends that are Cubs fans.
The Cubs are that team that everybody secretly roots for just because they're lovable.
And John, are you a Twins fan? Braves. Okay. Braves. Yeah. Ooh. Spencer Strider.
Same colors, but just Braves.
one of my
darker
favorite
blue,
young
darker
pitchers
blue.
in baseball right now, Spencer Strider. Came back today. First game back after he had to have surgery. And 6 of the 8 batters he faced. How you feeling about your Braves this year, man?
I don't know. We're not so hot lately. I keep score. I watch. It's like we win a game 7-2, then we turn around and get our ass beat by the same thing the next day, and I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing?
Yeah, it's.
So I sense some inconsistency.
That's how I feel about the Mariners. We'll win like 3 or 4 straight games, like 2-1, 3-4, 2-1. It's like, yeah, we're playing really good, and then we get demolished 15-1, and it's like, all right, back to earth. Here we go.
I mean, but you know what? At the same time, I completely believe the Dodgers will have that shit happen to them this year.
I don't think they get blown out. They're not going to get blown out 15-1.
But
no, I don't think
us, it's like every other night. It's the exact opposite.
I don't necessarily think that's going to happen to my boys, but
the Dodgers
getting swept by somebody. I mean, because I'm just not. Listen, they choke and they have a habit of doing it. So I mean, at the end of the day, like it's a really big possibility they're going to chip.
My expectation with the Mariners this year is if we can win 88, 90 games, which is what 56%, we got a good shot.
They might get 60. My Braves might.
I think they get more than 60.
They scared me right now.
That Braves is an 80
I think the
win
Braves
team.
will do better than you're expecting.
Yeah, it's an 80 win team.
They starting off rocky. That's
I
all.
will say I like the only team that really scares me in the AL West are the Astros, as usual. Texas could surprise some people. I don't see the Angels making a stand. We did get beat by the Athletics today, 6-7, which pisses me off because they don't even have a home team. They're just known as
A's
the
are going to
Athletics.
surprise a lot of people this year.
Wait, they don't have a state to. What?
No, they're just the
what do you mean?
Athletics Baseball Club. They're the Athletics Baseball Club.
Yeah, until they can complete the move to Vegas, they are the Athletics.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to say, where's their home?
And I do want to
Sacramento.
Like they have a home game. Where do they play?
They're playing some of their games in Sacramento this year, but I don't think it's going to be all of them. It's a lot like the Utah.
Don't they just use the Raiders field?
The Raiders field was their stadium.
They used to do it.
Yeah,
I'm saying they're in Vegas now. Like,
oh,
I don't
the
think
teams used to do it all the time back in the day.
Yeah, it's.
I'm just saying.
Part of it is I think part of it's a revenue issue. I would assume, and they struggle with revenue as it is, be it with that club. But if you
see it all the time back in early 2000s, 90s.
Right. Dude, yeah.
They were using baseball in a football stadium for the same purpose.
Yep, multi-purpose.
It's
Candlestick Park was my favorite of those.
Well, and John, here's something too that I want to add about your Braves really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your Braves may not be like hot to go. Chaperone, love her. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. HOTT. Anyways, I'm not going to get grounded. I'm sorry.
Let her land.
So at the end of the day, what I genuinely think is going to end up happening with your Braves is that they're going to be on this little plateau. They're going to get on a high. They're going to plateau. And just like they did last season, they're going to get warm right when they need to. And then they're going to start fucking annihilating everybody.
But the issue with the Braves over the last couple of years is their inability to stay healthy. If they can stay healthy, they're one of the toughest teams.
Yeah, my boy was gone last year instantly. So
right. Yeah. I mean, you guys lost 3 pitchers in the first 6 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
Last year, I know Spencer Strider went down pretty quick. Max Fried went down pretty quick.
And Acuna was gone.
And Acuna was not. Yeah, like the Braves had an injury issue last year. And I think that this year we're going to see some more longevity out of the Braves. I think the issue and like the year that the Braves won the World Series in 2021, something that one of our occasional guest hosts, Dan, never lets me forget. When I believe it was in August of that season, the Braves were a plus 1,100 to win the World Series.
Yeah.
It was some steep odds.
Yeah.
And they I think that this team has more. I think this team has more potential for consistency than that team did. So I would say it's not impossible that they make at least a wild card slot.
Right.
Yeah, I can see
don't
that.
know.
If we stay healthy, I can see that.
Yeah, and that's the hard thing. The Braves are one of those teams that they don't go deep enough to where a lot of injuries can help them or can do them.
Yeah,
a lot of injuries are going to really cripple them. But you have to look at that division. It's the Braves, the Marlins, the Mets, the Phillies, and the Nationals. The Nationals are going to make a little noise. The Phillies are going to make a little noise. And the Braves are going to make a little noise. The Marlins and the Mets, sorry, Will. I still don't.
You ain't got to say sorry to me. I already know.
I still don't.
I already know.
Let's not get
I already know.
started. God damn.
I already know.
Please don't.
You ain't got to tell me so. I already know.
It's for me. I can't.
That team, man, I don't understand what they're doing.
They're focusing around building around Soto. And that is the dumbest shit
That's
that
a
they
stupid
be doing
move.
right now.
It's stupid.
Well, all your teams look past the results right now.
All of them look past the results.
All of them.
Every last one of them, man.
Okay.
Never lost.
Never
God.
lost. Never lost and looking past the results.
Fatigue, something Padres should worry about. Okay, so there was the one that John Suggs did about Yu Darvish fatigue. That's what I want to touch on next, because there's an issue that I have with this. So it was John Suggs that said, yeah, you Darvish fatigue, something Padres should worry about. Or you think it's been, or you think it's been he coming back from off season. So you Darvish is such an amazing pitcher. That guy has more pitches in his repertoire than anybody else in the league. You could go up to face you Darvish 3 times in a game and not see the same pitch twice. That's how good. That's how versatile you Darvish is.
Yeah, agreed.
The issue is, and this is an issue that I think has plagued a lot of pitchers in baseball. This pisses me off. They have these guys throwing too hot too early. Because in back in the day, like, you know, especially like the big unit, Randy Johnson. Everybody knew how much of an intimidating force Randy Johnson was, even when he was on the air, or he was on the game.
He was coming with some heat.
He was coming with some heat, but you only saw that heat. If he threw 110 pitches in a game, you saw that heat a max of 5 times. These guys are throwing that 15 to 20 times in a game, and that's if they only play 6 innings.
Yeah.
You and that is what is decimating the health of pitchers today.
I can see
I believe it.
I have a friend of mine's daughter who's the same age as my son. She is a fantastic softball pitcher. And she had coaches that were letting her throw 160 to 200 pitches in a game, sometimes twice in a weekend. I lost my mind. I lost my shit. I actually yelled at her parents for allowing that to happen. Because she has the talent where she could get on a top softball program. And you're going to blow her arm out for a travel ball at 14 years old.
Yeah.
It's the same for them as it is for our professional players today.
Right.
You should not be firing it all the time. You know, when you think about a machine gun, if you keep it going, it's going to overheat, it's going to jam, and it's going to fuck you. It's going to blow up in your face. Same principle. Throwing that hard more because then that money drops off from top 5 to the next 10. I get that to a point, but it's baseball. There's a lot of money on the table.
Yeah.
And when you can't speak to, yeah, he can throw 105 20 times in a game. Okay. But if he started 24 games in a season, which for a starting pitcher, if you get, you know, if you get 25 starts out of a starting pitcher in a season, you are ecstatic. Now, if you can also say that you went 6 to 7 innings in 80% of those starts, guess what? You are an Iron Man pitcher.
Absolutely.
And that's what you should want out of your 1 and your 2 starters at least. 3, 4, and 5 starters change almost every team throughout the season. The 0 standards should be had about. I'm not even worried about that. But your 1 and your 2, like for the Braves, Spencer Strider, he should not be throwing that 100-mile-an-hour fastball that he's got more than 5 times a game. That's got to be to put away 5 players. That should be your 5 strikeouts right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that, and then you use breaking pitches for the rest of them.
Yeah.
Because if you overdo it, you look at what the Yankees are dealing with right now. Garrett Cole out for the season. Probably not going to get him until closer to the break next year. Luis Gill out for at least the next 3 to 6 months. You may not see him at all this season either. And that's just the Yankees, the other World Series team. Pitching was actually what got them as far as it did.
Yep.
And those pieces are now those 2 pieces are now gone. Because these guys are these guys are posting workout videos on fucking Instagram where they're throwing 100 miles an hour in January when they just stopped pitching in October. No.
Yep, that's the world we live in.
You're not giving yourself enough rest.
Your body isn't made to do that.
And that's why, like, I even made the comment, like, and I think, Tony, I think you and I had gone, we saw differently about this, to be honest, if I recall. But that's why I said, like, I'm so against the pitch clocks, because you're putting them on a certain time frame. And a lot of these dudes are going to blow their fucking arms out. Look what just happened. A lot of them blew their fucking arms out, and a lot of pitchers had to have surgery this past season.
Right, but we are seeing that more. But what we're seeing is an increase in emphasis on velocity and spin rate
For
and all
sure.
of these things that if, for me, what I want to see is a pitcher that's consistent. These standards that we have today would have made it so that Greg Maddux was not considered a great pitcher in baseball if he was pitching today.
Yeah.
Dude had 2 pitches and did not throw above 95 miles an hour except for maybe twice a game.
Yeah.
But you want to know what? When he threw the ball, it was going exactly where he wanted it to go. And that's what made Greg Maddux a great fucking pitcher.
Yeah.
Yep.
Consistency and control.
Yep.
He had consistency. He had control.
It's a lot like what Bruce Lee said. If you practice 1,000 punches one time, you're not a master. If you practice one punch 10,000 times, you're the master of that punch. That's what made Greg Maddux
exactly
an amazing pitcher.
100%. Yeah. Has Chapman ever set out for a long amount of time? Dude throws 90% of his pitchers above 94. That's a great question. And I think that Chapman is, definitely going to be more the exception, because what we're seeing is, as we've seen an increase in the amount of time these guys are throwing heat, yes, we've seen the pitch clock come in, but we've also before the pitch clock, we were already seeing an increase in Tommy John surgeries. And some of that is going to stem from the fact that it's not 2 years to rehab it anymore. It's 12 to 18 months, depending on how bad everything was.
Right.
And so that's making that a lot of players are jumping to it. Like, we're seeing players younger, high school. We are seeing high school kids getting Tommy John surgery, because when you come back from it, when you do it and you come back from it, you typically get an extra mile or 2 velocity. You see a boost in spin rate because they tighten up that ligament.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's no pitch clock in high school baseball.
True.
But you know what there is? Them telling them that they need to be throwing a bullpen every day and they need to be throwing gas in their bullpen instead of just going through their fucking pitching mechanics.
And this is why these people are getting hurt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. It's because you can have an emphasis on fundamentals and pitch selection and pitch control and when to throw gas and when to not.
Yeah.
With the pitch clock, and you will see a drop in Tommy John surgeries, and we're not going to see as much of a waste of the amount of money that teams are spending for big pitchers.
Yep.
And that's the problem with what's going on in today's game with pitchers and why we're seeing an increase in injuries. Because, like, look at Garrett Crochet for the Red Sox. Young pitcher, great at location, does not have as much speed as, say, Paul Skeens. As an example, who's another great young pitcher with an extreme amount of talent. Paul Skeens is another one. Paul Skeens can throw over 100 miles an hour. I've seen it. Has thrown over 100, like 102, 103, 104. Paul Skeens has some of the fastest pitch throws in college baseball.
Yeah.
However, he doesn't do it every time. And look, he gets to date Livy Dunn. If you're into that sort of thing, there you go. There's a reason. And she's too tiny and blonde for me. I don't know.
That's the person that wants to say hi to Anna Kendricks.
But she's not tiny.
Fair enough.
She's got meat on her bones. Does Bauer make a return? No. He should. And we've beat that dead horse multiple times on this show. Bauer absolutely should be pitching in the
The Yankees should make a play for Trevor Bauer. That's my opinion.
The Yankees should make a play for Trevor Bauer. I wouldn't be mad if Boston made a play for Trevor Bauer.
He won't be going to Seattle.
Kansas City could use him.
Anybody
Cleveland could use him.
No, he doesn't need to go to the Dodgers, Erica. They have a whole rotation and a half already.
I mean, true.
I would say of the 30 teams in baseball, at least 24 of them should be calling Trevor Bauer right now. Hands down, without a question. I don't think Seattle, because I think that I don't. Seattle and LA are two of the teams that I don't think should, because Seattle quietly has one of the best rotations in baseball, and Dodgers openly have one of the best rotations in baseball.
No, but the Mariners need to find some
will
bats.
not.
Like even if you put him as a bullpen pitcher, bullpen pitcher, and he comes in that one day when your starter just doesn't have it because you can get 7 innings out of him.
Yeah. The Mariners during spring training have given up 170 runs. When you give up more runs than the Chicago White Sox in spring training, something's up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's
what's even worse is the White Sox are 8-15. The Mariners are 7-17. but the Mariners have 41 more runs than the White Sox.
As far as what they've given up or what they've scored.
Yeah, no, like the White Sox have scored 105 runs. The Mariners have scored 146.
But the Mariners are still giving up more runs than the White Sox.
170 to 121.
I'm hoping for
All
your
right.
guys' sake that it's just the pitching's holding up and not putting gas in spring training, which every time I see it pisses me off.
Yeah,
We should
dude,
not
it's the
be seeing
Mariners.
gas in spring
It's the
training.
Mariners. We'll screw something up.
All right. If there's nothing else, guys, we've gone on for over 2 hours. Time flies when you have fun.
This is
Had
what
an
happens when we got Will Morgan as captain. Captain Morgan.
Yes. Had an active chat tonight. I appreciate you guys in chat. Appreciate you guys being here tonight. And one more time, I'm going to say it to Blue in the freaking face because I want everybody to jump in, get a chance to make that 1,000.
One more time
Y
from
to
the
Y
top.
presents March Madness Bracket Mania Challenge. 1,000 prize goes to the first place winner. $20 entry fee. If you're interested, hit me up on Facebook. I'll be more than happy to get you signed in, give you that information. Got to be in it to win it, guys. So definitely go ahead and come holler at your boy. Be more than happy to get you signed up. And if there's nothing else, we want to say thank you to everybody for coming out tonight. We do appreciate you guys. And we'll see you next week right here on the Sports Report Podcast. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.